Hello, good morning and welcome. It's the 22nd of December, it's Friday. So I think we might have the commitment of traders out tonight. The There's been some good news for the Swiss franc. The economic barometer is fairly positive. We've had some quite good figures out for the franc over the last couple of weeks or so, and I can see that actually being quite a good bullish currency to be in the beginning of next year. Um, Australian dollar, we've seen quite a good move up. We've come close. Well, we actually crossed my my resistance line, and we've come back down under it. We've actually, in the last hour, been up and tested it again. You see, we're actually pushing up at the moment. I've got my sell limit just above. If you go down onto a weekly or a monthly chart, you can see how the tails of the candles have actually popped through over the last few weeks. So uh, I think we should have a good chance of hitting that sell limit. We've followed the trend line up quite nicely. I've got resistance on my RSI at 64.74, and the higher we go up and then come back down through the trend line, the better the trade, in my opinion. So, well, we can see it past history here, where we've had some fairly decent downturns in the Australian dollar. So that's what I think we're heading for again. But it might be another week away, trading week that is. We'll see what happens. But this is really good how the trend line stops you getting in too early. The more shallow the trend line, the tamer the trade. The more upright it is, the more aggressive the trade. So there we go. Pound US dollar. We've got a commercial short ratio of 123 to 1. Um, I'm looking for downside on this. We've been flat on the RSI for just over a week now. We'll see where that goes, but I do see more strength coming through for the dollar, and there's more problems ahead, in my opinion, for the pound, especially with the Brexit. USD Canadian dollar. I was asked last night by somebody when to get back in, and I said, just put your trend line on. I've put a fairly steep trend line here. We did actually bottom out last night. I nearly put a trade in, and I thought, no, I've got to be a bit more cautious. I've got quite a lot of trades on at the moment. Um, so anyway, I've put my trend line. I am waiting for this to break through to the upside. I think we're gonna next couple of days, we next two trading days, I think we might see a little bit more downside on this. But I would like to get my trade back in. I've got knocked out here, so I have made quite a few pips on the way down, and I'll get my trade back in. So Euro US dollar. Uh, Commercials have got a 5-year extreme short position for the euro. I'm looking for downside in it. We've come up nicely. We haven't got that high, and we're starting to turn back down. I do expect more weakness on this pair, so we'll see where we go. But I've got my trades in, and I'm pretty hopeful. USD Japanese yen. We've had a little bit of upside this morning. We've got a commercials long ratio of 3.92 to 1 for the Japanese yen, which is obviously short for the pair. I've got knocked out of my one trade somewhere back down here. So I'm looking to go short again. Um, we've gone a bit flat on the RSI. I'll see where the next couple of days takes us, but I'll be going back short on weakness. we have got a reduced commercials ratio of 3.42 to 1. About 3 weeks ago, that was 7 to 1 short, and we had this really nice downwards movement in the Swiss franc, sorry, downwards movement in the pair, which of course is strength in the Swiss franc. Had a pullback, and I am expecting it to follow on through short. Um, I much prefer this on the crosses. I didn't actually trade it. I traded it on the crosses. We're actually just above the 50 on the RSI at the moment, and I am expecting more weakness in this pair. We did have a little bit of good news for the Swiss franc this morning, and we've had good news over the last 2 or 3 weeks. So, I do see more strength in this. The Swiss franc, I think, is a good buy over the next few months. We have an extreme position on the commitment of traders, which if you want to have a look back at my weekend report, and you can see that on the graph that we got from Copbase. New Zealand dollar, um, we put the old trend line up. We have got a commercials long position on this, and this is when we get the long positions on the similar long positions on the New Zealand dollar, we have had quite a lot of strength come through. We've gone up at the moment, and we're sort of knocking on a little bit of resistance, and it does look like that is going to break, and we're going to go through to the upside. We've actually got resistance on the RSI as well, so I'm waiting for that to move up. Hopefully it'll get above the 69.1, and if it can break sharply back down, that would be really nice. A really good sell signal for that. Silver, again, I've put a trend line up. We're still below the 50 on the RSI. I am expecting this to move up. It's just sort of breaking through the 20-day average on the candle chart. We'll see how that goes. Not in a mad rush to get back in, so we'll see where that goes to. This is DXY, which is the dollar against the basket of currencies. It actually gapped higher this morning, and it's come back down. So we've got 4 red candles, but the gap up. So I think this is going to move back up. I've put my trend line on. I've already got one trade in here. So we're waiting for this to break through the trend line and through the 50 on the RSI. So there we go. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully see you again in after Christmas. Cheers now. Bye.